Face reality, people. Movies are dead. Games are dead. Narrative? Dead.
Media is nothing but neural trigger response and viral conditioning.
Wait, what are you two talking about?
All right. So, following up the news with the whole hacking fucking Apex Legends, or at least the ALGS, or at least, very least, 3 players that I'm aware of right now. Jen Burton, TSM Imperial Hal, and apparently TSM Mande was also one of the guys that received packs from this Destroyer2009 guy. And what we're going to watch now is a video of Mande doing an interview with a guy on, I think he's on Twitch, a guy on Twitch named PirateSoftware, who's, I guess, a professional, I don't know if I want to call him a professional hacker, but he's professionally has an understanding of what hackers are capable of and anti-cheat systems to deal with them.
I have a little background on him too. So he is a cybersecurity expert that was hired by Blizzard. He was well known for that, and his father's also well known in the community. But that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just get right into it. I'm hitting play now.
Okay.
So if you don't know my
That needs volume.
the lead of application security for Blizzard Entertainment, which is all of Blizzard's websites globally. I was a senior red team specialist for them, and I have 3 black badges from DEF CON, and my last job was hacking power plants for the federal government.
Jesus, dude.
In my time throughout the industry, I've banned over 2 million players for cheating in games. So, like, this is 100% my wheelhouse. And we've been talking about the potentials for what could be going on here, and I'm still not seeing any evidence of remote code execution just yet.
Let me give you a quick intro as well. Hey, my name's Prem Jin, been programming for a long time. I've created such a security flaw that it got its own name on Twitch or on Netflix as the most egregious bug that has ever existed on the surface ever. In fact, a simple while loop could have taken down all of Netflix and you could not have gone back. So that's my security thing is I have created the most egregious bug ever. Notice the repulsive grizzly attack.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
That's pretty good.
You may have heard of it before.
But the thing is, the problem is, like, how do they... If you watch the clip, of course, of Jen, you've probably seen it, I guess. If you see the clip, there's a literal client, but in the game opening.
Yeah.
You know,
it feels much different than the HAL one too, because the HAL one had no client.
It was just straight
auto aim, and he was locked on. Whereas this one actually was a transparent window. It looked like it was actually built with in-game stuff, or something like it, because it kind of melded into the game.
If you need me to pause, let me know, guys.
Yeah.
So I've actually got this up here.
Pause.
Exactly.
So you can see this
What the
right
fuck?
here, the TSM halal hook, right?
Yeah.
So this pops up.
Yeah, I hear
Which
you.
means this dude's machine is compromised.
Okay, so
We don't know if that compromised.
they
pause
have
it?
2 Yeah. Sorry. I thought I said pause. Okay, whatever.
Sorry.
So they have 2 cyber experts on that panel, and they're like it, and like one of the guys that actually was gifted stuff by the guy who hacked into their systems was okay. I have a question. I don't know if you know. Do you know if Mande was in the match?
Yes, he was, I believe.
Okay.
I forgot what team he's on, or the name of the team, but I'm pretty sure he's on one of the teams in the ALGS.
And from what I understand, he was not hacked, correct?
At least not in the... He might have been next.
Okay.
Like, if they kept going,
Yeah,
he might have
yeah.
been the next player. Who knows?
If somebody didn't catch on to it. Okay. I just want to establish that. This is getting interesting. Let's go.
Here we go.
Happened through the client, or if that happened because he downloaded something stupid, right? At the same time, we have a tweet right here, which is very funny to me.
Yeah. Wait, let me turn up so I can listen. Wait, let me turn up so I can listen. I'm ready?
Yeah.
Oh, this is my favorite.
I'm ready?
Or my favorite video. This is my favorite.
Prime, wait.
Or my favorite video.
Prime,
Oh,
wait.
I can't tell if I'm
Oh my
clicking
God,
your
Prime,
video
shut
or
up.
my video.
Prime, shut up. Oh my God,
Clicking
Prime,
your
shut up.
video or my
Inception?
video.
Okay, I was download. What is this? Free download. Okay, I'm downloading it.
Yeah, but like, That's just him being fucking stupid. Like, everyone's like, come on.
Yes. Let's say this happened a month ago. Let's say this happened a month ago, right? Let's say that he's not screwing around and he actually just downloaded something random on the internet. Anything that you download, anything at all that you put on that machine could have been compromised for months, man.
Yeah.
So that's why I look at these types of things and I'm like, okay, you know, if this is a joke thing, cool. But if it's not a joke thing and he actually did that, you always think about those types of things. For this, we still don't have any indication that it's RC on the client. I would love to see the method for this, the mechanism for that. But again,
by
we
the way,
still don't have it.
Sorry for interrupting.
God.
Okay. So, did you? So, who is this one? That had the. I'm clicking on this link. I'm going to download it.
That's Imperial Hal. That's Hal.
So, do you think how would I really don't think that Hal would be stupid enough to click on a malicious link and download something, right? Am I right about that?
No. Well, here's the thing. Mandy's gonna, because I saw this video already. Mandy's gonna explain that that was after the hack happened already, and that was him downloading Malwarebytes, which is an antivirus program. It wasn't just random. I think he was downloading an anti-malware fucking program. And I've used Malwarebytes. It works. It's legit. Or Bitdefender or anything like that.
It is, but like, okay, so the one thing that when I had clicked on a malicious link in Discord, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is something that I was told not to do. So like, they're like, yeah, there are things that can get past the Malwarebytes. So people have had stuff that were major, like somebody who literally knew what they were doing with the virus that they put on the computer. The Malwarebytes passed over it, and it didn't even detect anything. But it has to be very complicated malware, right? Or ransomware or whatever. So let's hope that actually worked for Hal. But there's probably, like, if the guy knew what he was doing, and knew, like, this is not the first clip of Destroyer2009 hacking. They actually have a clip, which I'll post to you so you can put it in the video if you want, of him hacking a week before somebody caught him hacking.
Really? So, him playing or him like?
Yes, him playing. He was Pathfinder at the time. Yes.
Well, that would make sense for him, like with the playing part. This thing is like a different animal of him getting into people's computers.
Oh yeah, no.
And doing that shit. That's just different.
But people were catching him before, so this was already, like, he was already being sought by the Apex community because of his hacks. Okay.
Before I start playing, I'm not an expert on any of this, but if I had to guess, this is something that's been on their computers for a while. Like, I think something happened months ago or something where this guy, who knows, maybe they opened up an email and one of them opened up an email or something like that and clicked on a link by accident or whatever. Something they thought was legit and they clicked on it. And now, like, this virus is in their computers, just sitting there sleeping and waiting for when Destroyer2009 wants to start really fucking with them and start, like, remotely controlling their fucking games and shit. Right? It's like, that just sounds plausible to me without, obviously I'm not an expert. I'm just saying, like, just logically, that sounds like a very distinct possibility.
I agree. I think that's more likely the chance.
Yeah, but we'll hear the experts out. Here we go.
But that was after the clip. That one right there is after he got hacked. So he's downloading what's called Malwarebytes.
So what happened after that?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So like if he's got that and he's running Malwarebytes after the fact, that's a good idea, right? But with that kind of a thing, he's like, oh, he's just downloading something that chat told him to do, and if he gets a link for it and he goes and runs that, this happens to everybody all the time. And it also doesn't mean that the hacker has some kind of an exploit on the client still. Like when we're dealing with vulnerabilities anytime, especially in the games industry, we have to determine scope of the attacker's ability, right? And if the attacker is claiming something, we need to prove that the attacker can do those types of things. Because everybody is going to be like, I'm way bigger than life. I'm way scarier than possible, right? Like I'm the biggest, baddest, most badass hacker around. It's a normal thing. But if they don't prove that they can do that, then it's fog of war. They look way scarier than they actually are. So for me, this isn't scary to me. This is like puzzle solve time, right? Like, what is this dude doing where he's getting access to these individuals' computers? And Occam's razor to me says, you've got two compromised normal machines, because he hasn't gone after anybody else in those games. He hasn't compromised anybody else's accounts in this way by actually running those when he could, and he hasn't done it yet. Even in a whole bunch of other games that are
I
going
don't know
on,
Destroyer like
these
that.
major streamers have not been compromised again, right? Not that we've seen. So if that is happening, if he does have that access, why didn't you use it again? The only thing he's doing outside of that is server-side actions, such as spawning in packs and handing them to you. And after that, spawning in bots in the game. Server-side access is scary enough. That's bad, right? They need to find out what the hell's going on there. But this, still, no evidence of RCE on the client. Not yet. Maybe he has it.
Now, he's going to explain what that is, RCE. But the whole maybe that's what's going on when you see, like, you know, like 50 fucking bots joining a lobby just so some cheater can, like, farm them to get RP and KP to rank up to fucking rank up to Predator, right? As fast as possible. Maybe, like, because how else are they spawning in these bots like that? Is it does it work like stream sniping, where you just queue, like, you have an automated system that queues all these bots in at the same exact time, and then they all end up in your lobby, and then you just end up just sitting there killing them all? Maybe that's it. But maybe there's something where they're manipulating the server itself, which is like, if they're getting into the servers, which is, you know, like you said, not client side, where it's server side, right? The company's shit. Yeah, that could be a massive problem.
Well, like the whole thing, like too, is like they eventually talk. So like with the packs and stuff, right?
You cut out right there. Just say that again. Say that again.
Okay. With the packs and stuff, right?
Yeah.
They talk about that later on, but that right there kind of gives, like, he might have had limited access to the system, because to generate that many packs and gift them to people, that's got to be, like, you know, there's no way that it just he randomly bought all those packs and just gifted those out. Like, he did it to 3 different people, and I think there were like 500 packs each. So that's insane money, or like, yeah, like it's all speculation, but it's all freaking crazy.
Yeah, it could be like the system read that he was giving them money for these packs when he really wasn't. He was just, you know, exploiting it and then giving these guys packs.
Yep.
But all right, here we go.
But this doesn't prove it.
Thor, a common question I see, which is how do I know, or what is a good sign to look for as a layman for RCE, for the remote code execution that could potentially compromise my system, get something installed that I don't want? How would I know, like, what are some signs you'd want to look for?
So for me, what I'd want to see is him doing this on a wider scale to other average users en masse, right? Because then you can only prove that at that point, once you have more machines that this is happening to, you can prove, like, hey, wait a minute. It is very unlikely now that he has compromised every one of these accounts and every one of these computers individually, right? When you have 2 high visibility, high, you know, value targets like this, and only those 2's machines are, you know, compromised in this way, it doesn't prove RCE. RCE, you'd use it en masse, right? If you had a vulnerability like that where you could hit anybody's account and actually put something on their computer in any lobby in this game, and you just target 2 specific machines, and that's it?
In a private match, in a very highly public-eyed setting? Unlikely.
It's incredibly unlikely. So what we look at in that is, like, either he hasn't thought about going after more people, which seems wrong to me, or the scope of his vulnerability is not as large as he makes it out to be. For me, right?
I personally think you just...
That makes sense logically. That makes sense. Of, like, it's just maybe on these guys, on their particular computers. It isn't, you know, the entire game is hacked by this guy. But I'll let him keep talking, because...
Well, hold on, before you started.
Good.
There's also something else that happened a while ago too, where there's a major streamer, and, like, this is just an example of somebody coming in and already having stuff, or having some of the items that people couldn't get yet, or that people didn't have, right? So with Wraith's prestige skin, like a freaking streamer just sitting in the lobby by himself. He was talking to his chat, and this guy pops in, and he has Wraith's Prestige skin before Wraith's Prestige skin came out. And he's like, "Wait, is that Wraith's Prestige skin? Is that her?"
Yeah.
And it looked really cool. It's a Prestige skin, and he's like, "How the hell did you get that? Like, what's going on here?" And the guy like disappeared right after. And he's like, that guy hacked my lobby. He came into my lobby. He wasn't even worried about the skin. He's like, how the hell did he end up in my lobby?
Yeah.
So things like this has happened before, but not to this extent. So it could be possible that he just placed in the packs, right? So he knew he wanted to do something to mess with them, right? So he's like, I'll just throw in packs. And then later on, or like during the match, he's like, oh, I'm already in their system. I'm going to screw with them. He could have just done that. It's all up in the air.
Yeah. Now, I've seen that, and what you mentioned, I've seen in Call of Duty before, but they're not it's not like they're in the system type of thing. They're called like unlock tools, where you can unlock the new gun or special attachments or special skins or whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like sold on some cheating website, right?
And that could have been like the case of the packs too. Like that's why I brought that up. And like he could have just been like, "Hey, I'm going to screw with you later on. I'm just going to give you guys these right now," right?
Yeah.
So it could be like it's all up in the air, but there's like a lot of suspicious things that happen.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
Or just he makes it out to be, for me, right?
I personally think he just does it for attention, though.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to do it for attention, you'd hit to be real with you, if you wanted to do it for attention, you'd hit everybody in every game. Not just streamers.
I mean,
you'd hit everybody.
You might just hit those major streamers.
It's real, like
yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
EA completely,
like it's named after
how
how.
Unplayable for days because everyone's freaked out that they're gonna get RC. That'd be. I mean, if you were going for the attention, that would be the greatest way to do attention.
Yeah, I'm like, if you're going for full attention, there's even other ways too. Like there's things that he could do if it is full RC onto the client. There's other things you could download onto there to maybe just make it so that it says things in chat, right? He's already doing that there. Apex Hacking Global Series by Destroyer2009 and random, right? This statement right here that's there. He could just have every client in the entire game spamming that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my thing is too is like when like they say they. My first thought when I saw this, like the two streamers and they're both on the same team, and he also hacked Mande, which I think Mande is very popular, right?
He's pretty popular. Hal and Jen Burn are not on the same team. They're not on the same team.
They're not on the same team. But
Jen Burn's Dark Zero. Hal is TSM.
Dark Zero. Okay, I'm not into the esports shit, but I did watch this go down.
Yeah.
Excuse my language. I don't want to cuss. Yeah, sorry.
Fuck shit, pussy cunt.
Fuck you.
Sorry, Tourette's. Good.
But no, so they're popular streamers. Like, yeah, what if this guy was a fan of theirs? Because he wasn't doing it maliciously too. Like, you have to look at the whole thing.
Yeah.
He was giving them wall hacks. He was giving them freaking aimbot.
Yeah.
What kind of guy would come in and do that if he wanted to piss them off? Maybe it was more like a troll, but I think that this guy was a fan.
Yeah, it'd be like the greatest troll ever to get someone like, because there are people like think of like Dr. Disrespect or Tim the Tatman, right?
Yeah.
Where you have people who are fans watching them, but they're also trolls and hackers, and they want to stream snipe and get in their lobbies, kill them, and hear them make hilarious commentary about it. Like, fuck this guy. Like, watch Doc rage, right? Would be like maybe his motivation. This is like, this seems like the same thing, like a cheeky, like, I watch Hal all the time, or I watch Jen Burn, or I watch Mande all the time, and I want to fucking, like, make the biggest troll of all time. It's working, bro. It's a big topic right now. Good.
I want to give another example of a stream, right? So, Ninja has a bunch of stream snipers all the freaking time, right?
Yeah.
But there have been times where people have come in and they have helped him.
Yep.
His stream snipers have come in and helped him because they're fans, right?
Yeah.
So they'll come in and be like, I think one guy rezzed him. Like there was an event going on, one guy rezzed him, and he's like, "Thank you, dude, but I have to ban you," you know. this might actually be like a situation where this person thought he would get praise or that people would like it or get along with it or whatever, and it just didn't go that way, right?
Because this isn't like Tim the Tatman's Stream Snipers where, half of Tim's kills are from Stream Snipers dropping him money and letting him kill him, right? And he takes the money and uses it for a UAV or to buy someone back or to buy their loadout. Like that's different than fucking what this is. This is completely different in my opinion. This isn't endearing. I think partially he might be trying to just expose the system. Like, hey, this is what we can fuck up even on your professional level.
Actually,
maybe he's a grieved fucking player who like maybe he's been hacked on before. He's like, you know what, this system sucks. No one's checking the cheaters unless you're a famous streamer. So now I'm gonna do this. Like,
now that I think about it, there is a text thing that's supposedly of somebody who knows him personally, and they said that he did it for fun. They claim that he did it for fun.
Oh yeah.
And if that's the case, then yeah, he just wanted to mess around. Maybe like kind of bring the piss on his favorite streamers and just I want to just fuck with you a little bit.
Yeah.
But the consequence of that is Apex may actually have to be changed because of like the way that happened, right?
I mean, this guy's gonna go down, in my opinion. I know people are probably like somewhat pissed. Like I was kind of pissed because I'm like, I was watching this tournament, right? I was like, I wanted to see some competition.
People enjoying themselves, yeah.
But at the same time, I think as time goes by, he might be seen as a legend. Like honestly, or like an anti-hero legend. Like he's not really a good guy or a bad guy. He's just like the legend of Destroyer2009 because, like even on the screen right there, it says. Destroyer2009, save us, please. Like on the screen, it says that. Like maybe people will view him that way because maybe he exposed the system of because people have been complaining about hackers for increasingly more so of lately. Like in Apex Legends, it's starting to turn into fucking war zone. The way these hackers are like kind of running rampant in the higher lobbies, and like if this guy can get in there in your biggest thing, we're supposed to be the most protected games being played. All the famous streamers are here, the best players are here, and the hackers can still get to you there. He's kind of like in a way, like a revolutionary, but he might be seen as that as time goes by. That's just my faraway opinion. I'm considering that possibility.
Yeah.
But all right, here we go.
Every client, if he has that kind of access, but he did it to 2 streamers. That's why it doesn't make any sense. Because if you're going to have a vulnerability like that, it's not about threading the needle to hit in each individual account. It's about you can make it distributable at that point. You can hit a large number of players all at once. If he has the access he claims he does, it doesn't make sense to do it this way. It just leads me back to the individually compromised computers. Which, again, he may have that access and he just hasn't scoped it up, right? That is possible. But to me, it feels unlikely at the current stage, right?
I think one of the other guy's teammates got banned too. A guy called Verholst. He said it in the clip. Verholst doesn't seem like a guy that clicks shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
So he got banned for what though?
Just fucking like it thinks he's cheating. Like easy anti-cheat or whatever.
Nah,
so easy anti-cheat thought that he was cheating.
Interesting.
Yeah, the thing is,
no, I had questions about this. I didn't know whether it was Verholst individually, like, oh, you're banned now, or it was because he's in Hal's lobby, and then Hal is the one that gets banned for cheating, and thus, just because Verholst is in his party, he gets a ban message, but he's not actually banned, and he gets a 10-minute penalty for leaving the match. I think it was a ranked match too, so maybe that was it.
And something else that I looked at Hal's Twitter, and Hal even said that Apex banned him because they wanted to make sure there was no vulnerabilities in his account. So they're investigating his account. He's temporarily banned.
Okay. Well, yeah, we saw he wasn't able to connect to the EA servers like that same day yesterday.
Yeah. So I'll post that tweet to you too.
All right. Here we go.
Turn on.
Do you have a post for that?
Let me see if Verholst was streaming. Oh shit! Let's see if Verholst was streaming yesterday. He said he got banned mid-clip. I don't know if it's just because Hal got banned or whatnot.
Oh god, use YouTube, assholes.
There was a.
Wait, let me see.
Where you get 40 ads.
To keep playing
Yeah,
Scrim.
because anytime we do investigation stuff, for me, it's
That's all
like
I'm saying.
it's going to be the minimum until we can prove more, right? And I find that the internet generally takes the opposite approach. They're like, the sky is falling, everything's on fire, and I'm like, no, dude, just wait.
It's just a bunch of
Just
Hitlers
wait,
and
you know.
RCEs out there.
That's what I'm playing
happens.
today, you know?
That's all it is. Ridiculous.
Really?
Because if it truly is EAC, then I mean, this person listed out a list
That,
of games.
you're
That
talking about the
have EAC in
barometer
it.
game, or
It's enormous. I mean, it would be
Yeah,
like every last
doubt it.
person's machine.
Yeah. The reason why I doubt it is let's look at the scope again. He's only hitting Apex Legends players,
Yeah.
right? It's unlikely that it's easy anti-cheat. If you had access to every game that has easy anti-cheat on it, everything would be on fire right now. Like that's not.
That's what
find
you
that to
mentioned
be
before.
Incredibly doubtful.
By the way, is it Mandy or is it Manned?
You just call me Mandy, it's fine.
Nice.
Manned.
I sent you. I sent you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Dude, that is wild. I'm gonna hear that the rest of my life, dude. Again, dude. Brother, dude. They say these nuts all the time in my chat, dude. All day long. That's the clip of him playing ranked, and then he gets
yeah, I got
banned.
banned.
And then his teammate, if you can hear, he says, I got banned too.
What?
No, I got banned
What
too,
time?
bro.
are we
Yeah,
on?
let's listen to this real fast.
9:27.
Yeah, sorry.
Again, server level access.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be onto the person's client, right? So, like, think about it this way: if the server is compromised, if this guy has access as an employee would, all of these actions could be done through server level access. Like, you could ban players, you could unban players, you could generate packs, you could trade them to other people, you could do any of these things because it's all held on the server side. So, like, this also doesn't prove that he has remote code execution on that end person's machine. It's easy for us to assume that he has downloaded something onto that person's computer, run a cheat on that person's computer, and then that person got banned by the automatic easy anti-cheat system. But if he has server level access, he could just be like, "Oh, you're flagged as a cheater."
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, that he can turn it up and down.
Okay,
he
fair
can
enough.
make the easy anti-cheat ban you, and he can't. But he can make it
Yeah.
not ban you. So when they're just cheating normally, it won't get detected, but he can just turn it on so they get detected instantly if they want to. That's the thing.
So the most that I'm getting out of this is I've got two most likely possibilities, right? Most likely possibility, this dude has server level access, right? 100%. Now, the secondary possibility of that is he doesn't have direct server level access. There may be a compromised employee's machine in there. Like, that is also very likely, right? Because if you have a compromised employee machine, you would get the same level of access as if you had a vulnerability directly on the server, because you just ping
Is that
pong
true?
through it.
Because
But-
because a lot of employees' machines usually aren't given full access at all points. So usually they
You
have
get the
some
right
reduced
one.
or scoped one. Yeah, I guess if
You get someone in
if
IT
you
that already
social-
has access. Yep.
Fair.
They just
Yeah.
fired a bunch of
You're
people
fishing.
though, like the other day.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it could also be an employee that's mad.
No,
There's-
because he's
there's
been there
always
for a
that-
long time though. That's the problem. He's been there for like what, 2 months?
2 months. Yeah, sure. I mean,
Like,
so it's
yeah.
probably not a fired employee, but to be real with you, it could be a compromised employee machine. Spear phishing is
So that's the clip. He's not hacking into someone's game. He's just he's hacking himself in the game, right? He's using cheats. Thus, he existed before yesterday. All right, here we go.
I mean, it could also be an employee that's mad.
No,
There's-
because he's
there's
been there
always
for a
that-
long time though. That's the problem. He's been there for like what, 2 months?
2 months. Yeah, sure. I mean,
Like,
so it's
yeah.
probably not a fired employee, but to be real with you, it could be a compromised employee machine. Spear phishing is pretty normal. What that is, if you've never heard of spear phishing, is I will go after one specific employee because they are high value. A high value employee would be somebody, in this case, who has access to the servers. Could go through that route. Could, right? Could. Doesn't mean true. Means could. At that point, he could also have a vulnerability directly in the server. He could have remote code execution on the server. Showing the breadth of the things that he has access to, it is likely he is manipulating the servers in some way, either directly or through an employee's machine, right? It is unlikely that he has individual access to each player's client, though.
So
That
I'm
is
going to throw it out
very
there.
That's what I think he has, though.
I
Could be.
highly doubt that it's an employee machine because I assume that right now they're scouring. They're trying to figure things out, and they've seen this now for a little bit. Which, if you're going through a singular employee machine, you think spawning in 30 people, finding a packet like this, finding that kind of access would be kind of at least audited. Again, I'm making the assumption that audit trails exist. That they'd be like, oh, this is a very unusual set of activity coming from, Charlene. Let's go talk to Charlene.
So working in the industry, we had a couple of different types of attacks, and they would happen all the time, right? So nation state level attacks, they hit American businesses all the time. Other countries get hit all the time as well, right? And what you would get a lot of the times is you get a bunch of people that are suddenly in the network and leaving logs and just like making a mess of the place. It's very obvious. All the alarms are going off exactly as you're stating, right?
Yeah.
And then they would all disappear instantly. It would ghost 100%. You wouldn't see anything there. It was like no one was ever there in the first place. And the reason that it was happening is because their lead walked in and said, let me show you how this is actually done. Clean up after yourselves. They're still in the network. You just can't see them. So when we're saying like, oh, it's easy to catch them once they're in the network, no, it's not. 100% not. If they know what they're doing, absolutely not. And it also doesn't mean that it's just one machine. Once you get access, once you get a foothold in the network, lateral movement, you find any other vulnerabilities to get other things in the network, you could be reaching out to a whole bunch of different places. All kinds of different stuff. So we don't really know. There's fog of war there. We don't know what's happening inside of there. We don't know how he's accessing these things. Still could be an employee's account. That's why I'm thinking about it. It's like, once you're in the network, you're in the network, right? And with this, could be in the network, could have direct access to the server. Either of those things is possible.
Well, I will say there is one silver lining. Mandy, you said you got 4,000 packs from this?
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
He gives a lot of packs to
4,000?
a lot of people.
Oh.
So, not a lot of people. He's given to 3. Me, Jen Burton, and Hal. Hal and Jen Burton are the 2 other people that got hacked in the tournament, and I'm the fucking 3rd guy.
Yeah,
Just to make sure in case there's testing or anything that needs to be done, in case I have 4,000 packs tomorrow, I just really appreciate that for testing purposes, of course.
I got you, King, dude.
Yeah, so for people who are saying like, oh, he's in your PC and things like that, there's no indication that he is, right? There's no indication that he's in these specifically Mandy's PC. There's indication that he has server-side access. There's no indication that he has client-side access, other than those 2 other players, which could have directly compromised machines. Their specific machines are compromised, not the game. So in order to prove that there's client-side RCE, we have to show that the guy's actually accessing those machines through the game, which is, there's no indication of that just yet. If they prove it, then great. But don't jump to conclusions just because you think it's possible. Yeah. You have to prove these things when we're dealing with security. And if you can't prove it, don't repeat it.
I think a general good rule of thumb is that if you're
because you're fucking the company,
like when it comes to security, like say you truly believe it could be a remote code thing, well then uninstall it, wait a day, it's fine. Like your response should be strive for maximum security, but your saying things out loud should not be say the most scary thing out loud, right? Which is what people tend to do on the internet is they do nothing and then they just say the worst possible thing, which is it's just RCE exploit in play Apex or in the anti-cheat. And you're just like, okay, let's slow down for a second.
I'm pretty sure the Easy Anti-Cheat tweeted out not that long ago that it's nothing to do with them, that it's a respawn thing. Yeah, I got,
Thank you, Andy.
I don't know, I just got like a, this is probably fucking fake as fuck, but I got a thing with like, also just confirming the RCE has nothing to do with R5, right? The R5 is like a secondary game to Apex, but like where you can like customize a bunch of stuff, so people think that's where they got it from. So you download R5 and it's like a mod for Apex or whatever.
Modded variant.
Yeah, he just said it has nothing to do with R5 at all. But like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, is everybody using R5? All the people who are like, so for the 2 players who were compromised, are they using R5?
I think 1 is.
So right there, it lends credence to it's not, right?
Yeah,
if one of them is
51.
and the other one isn't, then like, bleh,
Shut the fuck up.
But the thing is, like, people are like scared to like play the game or open the game or whatever, right?
Oh, no, so people are going to be super afraid of this, and I think a lot of the reason why is because they don't understand what remote code execution is. They don't understand this. So let me draw this on the good old whiteboard here.
Yeah.
Let's say that the attacker's computer is here, and let's say that your computer is here, right? This is the server. If the attacker has remote code execution on the server, it means that they can execute code on this machine from their machine. It does not mean that they can execute code on your machine, but it means that they can modify memory and execute commands on the server. That means that they could do things like ban you, or generate packs, or change your lobby, or delete your lobby, or anything else that goes on with this, depending on the server infrastructure that's there. Now, remember, the server instance is a solo thing. There's authentication servers that handle login, may not have access to that. It could be the actual game servers themselves, so just changing game state, but not changing anything outside of that. There may be servers that handle everything with shops and payment processing details because there's a bunch of different standards that have to be applied to payment processing information. Totally different servers, right? So there's lots of different things that go into the server when people talk about servers for games. It's not just one thing. But it's very clear that he has access to purchase and information regarding how many packs your account has. And he has access to the game servers because he can do things like summon in a bunch of bots, right? Those alone does not necessarily mean he has remote code execution on all things because he could be doing a lot more damage. He has execution for two things: summoning bots, banning, actually three things: summoning bots, banning people by flagging their account for easy anti-cheat, and the last one is creating like packs and then giving them to people. So those three vulnerabilities are quite bad, but doesn't show full control. Full control would be much worse, right? Now, just because you have execution on this machine doesn't mean you have execution on the end user's machine. You would have to have another vulnerability. What you would need to do at that point is you have to have remote code execution on the server, and then that would then chain into another vulnerability that's on the client. The client would have to be vulnerable so you could do that on the end user, which would be your game copy.
Yeah.
In this case, we can't prove this connection. So it's strange to say that that's the truth, right?
That's okay. I mean, that makes more sense of what this RCE thing, remote client execution, where they can use Apex's servers to then infiltrate your computer straight up. Like, I would have to assume he means something like, oh, I can get into your bank account that's on your computer, or your logins for PayPal or some other program that has nothing to do with Apex from Apex, right? I can infiltrate your system from from the game of Apex and then get into all your other shit onto your computer. So
Yeah.
that's the thing that he's saying is like not very likely, because he probably would have just, because then he could just do it to everyone, right? He could have everyone have aimbot and wall hacks all of a sudden or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But
I posted two different things from people who have seen him in game and that he was hacking.
okay.
Care package over there.
All right. Here we go.
We have to prove the connection first.
1833.
It's
Okay,
extremely sophisticated too.
I have a question to you guys, though. I think a lot of people want me to ask this question too. So we've been struggling with cheaters and this shit
pause
for
real quick. Sorry.
fucking years.
Okay, so also in the thing that I posted, he has TSM banner frames on his thing while he's shooting. And these are only accessed by the teammates of TSM.
I'm pretty sure that's the case, and which means, yeah, it's like these things are in the game, right? Just like the newest skin, maybe the newest gun, maybe even new characters are like kind of in the system already, and then they're using unlock tools that get into the server and unlock those things that are usually for developers only, that they can just get access to and then use them. Something like a TSM banner, right? If I had to guess, if I'm getting this correct, right? I'm not an expert, but if I'm picking up what this guy is saying, what a pirate software is saying,
Yeah.
then that would be like how that's done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Here we go.
Two. So we've been struggling with cheaters and this shit for fucking years, like 2 years plus of just like, and it feels like nothing's happening.
Looking like Warzone.
What is like the play if you guys were the people in like what's it called?
Yeah. So in game security stuff, generally the way that we do this is through band waves, right? And I'm sure you've seen a bunch of band waves for the game, right? Are they doing massive band waves?
No.
Like at 10,000?
Then the one time.
Now, when I first heard this, people hate that because of Warzone. From what I've seen from the quote unquote hacker hunter guys and all that shit, is that they look at the band waves as nothing because you're not actually catching any cheaters. Maybe you're catching one provider who has a shitty exploit in their hacking system that gets them detected and caught and then banned. But this guy actually makes an interesting point about why the ban waves are a good idea, why you wait and then ban a shit ton of them at once. I haven't really picked the side of what I believe yet because I don't really fully understand, because maybe they ban wave an entire provider, but then there's like 40 other providers, right? And they're probably going to get their money back from the hacker or from the cheat provider, possibly. And like maybe that shuts that company down, but another one will pop up, or maybe that same cheat provider makes a new name and then pops up somewhere else, right? Or a new domain or a new name or whatever the fuck. So he has an interesting take, one that I haven't thought about before in regards to band waves. Let's hear him out.
To the game, right? Are they doing massive ban waves?
No.
Like at 10,000?
Then the one time.
How many people do they ban in the one ban wave?
I don't remember. It was a lot. People like jumped a bunch of places and stuff like that. But they were only one time. It was like one time for like a whole week where the game actually felt normal. But
about 100K people are saying?
Maybe.
Is it 100K?
I don't
Some
remember.
people are saying 4K and 7K. No one knows the value.
I have no idea.
So generally the way that we do this is you're supposed to do it every 3 to 6 months. And it's not about catching the players cheating. And I know that may be weird, right? Why would you ban players if you're not trying to stop the players from cheating? You're not. They're actually ammunition. So what we usually do, we do it every 3 to 6 months because
to deter.
There's a person on the other side that's making the botting or cheating tools. They're creating those tools, and they're usually monetizing that in some way, right? If they're not monetizing it, whatever. But when you do this 3 to 6 month ban, if they are monetizing it, you get a shitload of chargebacks if they're not using crypto. All those players are suddenly angry customers for your opponent. At the same time, you also get a bunch of angry players that are reviewing that bot and telling everyone, don't use this tool. I got banned for this tool. So you do this all at once to overwhelm the shit out of your opponent. All at once. That's why we do every 3 to 6 months. And it also stops your opponent, who are the bot creators, from detecting how you caught them. Because they don't know. It could be any change they made over the last 3 to 6 months. You do it then, at that moment, to basically just wipe them off the map. And we used to do that all the time at Blizzard. Like, while I was at Blizzard, we banned, I banned over 2 million accounts in detections that I formed, right? But there were people on Risk that banned like 14, 15 million accounts doing this. And each time one of those ban waves went through, it chipped away at every one of those cheat creators until many of them fell under the pressure because they couldn't handle it. And that helps make the game better. It's not about the players getting banned. It's about using them as ammo every time.
Okay.
So this is what he's saying is basically it's a roundabout way of catching cheat providers and I guess hackers in general. I thought the idea of masking, like how you know you found a certain cheat or how you detected it and masking that, I thought that was an interesting sort of like FBI shit, like kind of like a sting operation to like build their confidence to where more and more things are more and more people are maybe using it, and then you drop the fucking hammer on them, and all of a sudden their financials from selling hacks kind of like gets shit on a bit. Like, okay, that's interesting. Once again, like I don't know enough to say whether or not like this is actually feasible because there's going to be so many more providers that exist. You're going to have people that maybe get a ban wave, but then upgrade their system, change names, and do it all over again. And they're like, man, no one's detecting this shit. Right?
Yeah.
So like I would think the average gamer would be hoping that there's something that would just straight up just catch them. Like, oh, you have cheats on your computer, you 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 boot the game up, and boom, you're caught. Like they catch you
Yeah.
right from there, whether it's easy anti-cheat or hideouts or something. Something catches these motherfuckers, like just from them having it on their computers. And this guy's saying like that's it's maybe wait 3 to 6 months and we'll do a ban wave of these guys. Meanwhile, all these games in between those 6 months, people who play the game every day, like streamers, they're kind of getting shit on. And
Yeah.
maybe the hackers go away for a little bit, then they come back. They seem to just keep coming back. So maybe he's making one company or two companies or even three companies go down, but then there's like 40 other ones that are still providing cheats, amongst other things, right? Like the whole, what was it, configs? Like, was that really a cheat provider? Or is that just individuals going in and watching a YouTube video? Here's how you do configs, and then changing their whole system around within the game files.
Mm.
So it's a weird thing. The idea I like that I've heard before, I don't know if I like it, but it sounds interesting. I watched it from a channel called Basically Homeless, where they have like AI detect, like that's AI like watching your gameplay and deciding that's not humanly possible, thus that must be a cheat, thus we can get rid of it. That's something I hear a lot of these streamers say when they die to a cheater. You'll see they'll be spectating the cheater, and he'll be doing the craziest shit on earth, right? He's flying, he's fucking aimbotting everywhere, he's shooting through walls, he's doing it all, right? He has unlimited ammo, and it's like, yo, how do you not just look at this and be like, that's cheating? Well, if this AI thing is legitimate, that would detect that immediately. They'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
there's no way that is humanly possible, thus that is cheating. I don't know how efficient of a thing that would be, but I would consider it, and I'm in fact going to put a clip of that into this video right at this point.
With the help of someone I met because they are a viewer of the channel, already in development is a program named Waldo, a completely open source visual anti-cheat that can determine from gameplay footage alone if someone's legit or machine assisted. In case your mind hasn't already flashed the implications before your eyes, I'll break it down for you. Once completed, Waldo will be able to analyze gameplay footage and use the same machine learning data from the new type of AI hacks to determine if the player in the footage is hacking or being assisted by a machine with extreme certainty. It will be able to detect if the recoil control or mouse movement is from a user, a human, or from a machine. All these streamers that are popping up that are just cracked out of their mind, just way better than everyone, will be able to determine if there's a little assistance behind that reaction time, I don't know, or assistance behind the aim. I'm not just talking about today or in the future either. There's accusations that go back way back. There's been conspiracy videos, things that really gained some traction. With this program, we'll be digging up the truth of the history of the gaming industry. The concept is that once it's completed, it functions as a website where anyone, you included, can upload a piece of gameplay footage. A bunch of data metrics are returned, and from that data, the server processes the likelihood of the user in the footage using a recoil macro, machine assist, anything. This would be released to the internet, to you, to use with any clip, from any point in time, from any creator.
When you spectate someone and try to determine if they're cheating, you're trying to detect a pattern that differs from what you know as human. This new market of cheats produces a pattern that you and I can't see, but a pattern that humans can't see, a well-trained machine can. Normal anti-cheat running on a user's system can always be lied to, even at a kernel level. This is why it's not possible to make this type of anti-cheat open source. If hackers have free access to how an anti-cheat works, it's immediately useless. Waldo's significance is that it's visual and looking at the end result. It cannot be lied to. It does not matter if hackers know how it works, meaning a superior crowdsourced anti-cheat is finally possible.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I want people to, like, maybe that's something where it's like just straight up, you're cheating and you're detected instantly.
Oh, and there's something
Referral
else.
hacks. Good.
So they said that January that Destroyer2009 was known to have the TSM shit and have their clan name and their freaking their specific frame, which it does say TSM, and I just looked at it. And he's using speed hacks. He's using aimbot. He's actually able to shoot through objects.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, why didn't they catch this dude? He was reported on games that he has been in that he's hacked. If that was the case, Apex doesn't know what they're doing.
Well, here's the thing:
And
they could have banned him. They could have banned him,
They
and
could've,
then
yes.
he could just make a new account. And like you don't play on PC, but on PC, let's say you boot your game through Steam, you can just change your name anytime you want to, right? So you can always like there's a bunch of players, pro players, I think, that were like trolling, and they changed their names to Destroyer2009 as like a gag almost. Like, yeah, you could just do that. You can change your name easily on Steam the way you can change it on, just like in like Discord, you can change your fucking name, right?
To me. So the thing that I was having during watching the clips that I have and the investigation that I've been looking into this, trying to gather every like bit of clips that I have or like that are on like Twitter and stuff because that's where it mainly is activating.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, it's like he probably seems like a fan of TSM because not only does he have the frame, he carries the clan tag.
Yeah.
The problem that I see with this, right, is like he cheats. He's using their name, which these guys are clean from what I understand. They don't use cheats. They're actually really good at the game.
Mm-hmm.
He like to me it feels weird because he's tarnishing their name.
No,
So
he's not tarnishing their name. He's not doing that.
That would be a tarnish of the name, yes, because if you're cheating and you're using cheats and you're carrying that name, why like
No, because there's like gamers know. They're like, is that like if like in Call of Duty, you'd always like let's say you die to a guy like FaZe FaZe Swag or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
FaZe what's his name? Duty?
Yeah, bunch of kids killed.
whatever Swag's name is. FaZe Swag, right? People will be like, "Oh, is that the real Swag?" Like usually it's not. It's usually just some kid with that name there. Even if they're not hacking, they'll just have that name because they're fans and they just want to represent FaZe or TSM or whatever one of these teams. The players don't automatically go like, "Wait, look what TSM is doing out here with these hacks." Like, no, I don't think people really do that at all.
Yeah, but like looking at that frame, like I could see a few players doing that though. Like looking at that, like why the hell does he have that frame is only given to those members.
Yeah.
So it could be looked at weirdly, but if he liked them so much, why like I would, and this is not just for people looking at him. This is for TSM themselves, right? Like, you're using the TSM name. You're a fan of TSM, but you're fucking them over. Like you're literally screwing with them.
Yeah, he's trolling.
But he does seem like a fan though, because he's like messing with their names and stuff. It's kind of counterintuitive. It's counterintuitive.
For competitive Apex, yeah, but for like I said, they might look at this guy like he's the one, like he's fucking Braveheart, bro. He led the charge to showcase how bad their system is in regards to dealing with hackers. All right, he might be, and to be honest with you, as much as Hal's like kind of pissed about the game, like these guys were laughing and having fun with it. Like it was like a fun thing. Yeah. Do they want that every time they boot the game up? Is to have somebody take over their computer and put hacks on there and stop all their professional games and all that shit? They don't want that. But when it happens just one time out of the blue like this, people are like, it's a fucking frenzy, bro. Where it's like, this is the craziest thing ever. Like they're laughing about it. Like this is crazy. It's.
I mean, like.
I'm telling you, it's gonna look endearing in a way, a slight way endearing, even though it fucks with the competition.
When I first got on Twitter last night, like when they started talking about hacks, these guys actually, from what I understand, it was more than 500,000 packs, like something like that, where it happened months ago, and these guys were gifted that, and they're like, people were like, why didn't they notice something was off at that point? Because you know damn well that's thousands of dollars worth of freaking packs that were just sent to these guys. Yeah. Why would you not question that? Why would you not think, hey, something's up with this. Maybe we should talk to an Apex rep. Because usually these guys are connected to Apex reps. They actually have people's ears in Apex. So they could have been like, hey, what's up with this? Like, I'm having 2,000 packs sent to me. This is kind of strange. I doubt people have this kind of money. What's going on here?
Well, maybe they thought like it's like again, it's funny because these guys can get whatever amount of packs. These guys have money; they can get packs and shit like that.
Yeah.
So like when someone like trolls the system and like because these guys already believe the game's broken, right? You can if you just watch Hal or Jen or Mandy, where just forget about hackers, just someone just running up on you with no audio. These guys are like, this game fucking sucks. It's so fucking terrible. Now you have this guy in here just exposing it on the biggest stage of the game. Not just the ALGS, but the North American one. That's not an insult to the foreign teams. Obviously, there's great teams out there too. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like it's kind of like their belief about the game coming true.
Yeah, like the best of the best in NA.
Yeah.
So,
reigning champions, bro.
But it just seems like they should have been. It kind of exposes them too, right? Like they should have been more aware of what they were doing.
Like, they look at it like it's not their problem though. Like TSM, like Hal or Jen Burren, they're like it's the game. It's because the game's broken. It's not us. It's the game that's broken.
Yeah, but they're like it kind of proves a point there too, though. Like if you actually look at it, okay, so they're like, oh yeah, the game's broken. So why not like? It doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, they think the thing, it's funny, haha. But if there's a chance of this happening, something going wrong, why would you put yourself through that? Especially, like, this is a championship, right? This is you have money on the line.
But they wouldn't have thought this, Ghost. There's no way, like, as much as they're like, the game's broken, there's no way they expected that shit to happen. To where they have fucking aimbot all of a sudden. Like, what the fuck? Like, it probably shocked them.
And, like, I agree with, like, maybe he did it to the packs. They got into their system, and they didn't, like, and he was literally sitting there for months on this. Right, and that would make a lot of sense. That actually would pretty much, it sounds like the most plausible thing, right? Or one of them. There's several there, but what I don't, maybe it's just my mind, and like maybe I just I would think about that if somebody so me myself as somebody who's just regularly playing Apex, I would be sitting there and be like, why the hell did I just get 2,000 packs? Something is fishy here. Maybe I shouldn't open them. Or maybe I should just let them sit there for a while. Or do something, maybe contact Apex themselves and see what's up about this. Because but I also have been scammed before too. I've gone through the shit. The ringer sort of
Well,
stuff. But anyway,
these are you gotta think of it from they're famous streamers, dude. Like people send them shit all the fucking time, and something like that where there's like, you've been gifted 2,000 packs. You're like, what the fuck? All right, thank you, I guess, or whatever. Or Apex will handle it if this guy's like robbing them and then sending me packs, like whatever. But if they get into these guys' games, like actually manipulating their gameplay, like then it becomes something different to them, which is why they were so fucking shocked when they all of a sudden they have wall hacks or aimbot.
One of these computers individual.
The streamers weren't complaining when they were getting all of those free packs, brother. I wasn't complaining, but I did message the fucking the EA developers. I said, brother, this guy gave me packs. Are you guys able to get rid of the packs? I asked them. Guess what they said? Oh, we can't get rid of them. Oh, that I'll go ask my security team. And then 1 week later, there's no response. So I just started opening them. What am I meant to do? Like, what the fuck? Of course I'm gonna open that shit. I did ask though, alright? And to be honest, while typing that message to the developer, in my brain, I'm like, inshallah, it doesn't, but hopefully they say that they can't do anything, that I keep the packs. In my brain, that was in my brain.
You got to look at it from because, like I said before, with Tim the Tatman, right? He has stream snipers that fly in helicopters to him, drop him cash, and then let him kill him, and then let Tim kill them, right? But it's like, who knows if that guy was running around aimbotting, destroying the lobby, taking their money, and then bringing it to Tim, You don't know. You don't see it. It just seems like normal for
It's like
they've
the
experienced.
stuff was. It's like the stuff from Ninja that I said.
Yeah.
Get down, they were stuff and get killed by them.
Yeah, called friendlies, or they may have like a bad version of a stream sniper where they're like, following around the map and trying to kill them all game.
Well, I think the ultimate conclusion of this is going to, one, make pros more cautious about things that they do in Apex, right?
100%.
100% cautious. Yeah, more cautious when they get packs and shit. And it's gonna put Apex on the map for getting their cheats fixed, right? Or getting their anti-cheat fixed and hiring more people for the anti-cheat team, or else they're going to be looked at as jokes.
Well, their anti-cheat is
it's third party.
It's easy anti-cheat, right?
Yes, it's a third party.
But the anti-cheat wasn't what they went through. They went to the server. According to what this guy's saying, if he's correct about it, and they're going directly to the servers to manipulate the game, then that's different. That's their own security team for them. It's not even for the game. It's for their own servers.
So that would be Hideout.
Yeah, it'd be for their fucking company that's getting fucked with.
Which is freaking... Yeah, people were calling for the freaking firing of Hideout.
Yeah.
And that's the team lead on the anti or the. So it's oh god, this is a freaking mess. Let's just all be honest. This is a freaking mess, and the PR nightmare for freaking Apex. Jesus.
It's definitely interesting though. I'm not gonna lie about it.
Yeah, seeing all the comments and stuff. It's fantastic. I mean, I like the investigative part, right? So my research into this has been trying to see how long this guy's been active, if he's done more than just this, and yeah, there's proof that he has. And why didn't people catch him before, or did he make multiple accounts? What's going on here? Are there people associated with him that can bring us answers? There's a lot of things that are going on, and a lot of people have a lot of questions. And if Apex does not deliver, I have a bad feeling that well, a lot of people will be leaving the game, because this is huge. This is huge. This is esports. This is their money making, right? They get a lot of money from this because of the viewership. Yeah. So it's a disaster. It's just a disaster. Let's call it like it is.
Yeah, and I will add this before we finish the video. These guys were playing from home, right? They weren't playing on LAN, which is where their championships take place. Their big titles, championships are on LAN. They're in person.
Yeah.
Playing on private servers and all that shit. They're not. So you wouldn't be able to. The guy wouldn't be able to do that there unless one of those computers got compromised or that server, that private server got compromised.
And thank God for that, because if it was at LAN systems, how much damage could he have done?
Oh, it would have been crazy for the players. Would have been listen, the players are talented. They know they're talented. They have followings, right? The fans know they're not cheating, and they're like, "Oh, wow, this is like a fucking crazy fuck. I was there when this happened, like a crazy event." But for the company, oh my god, is this a black eye? And if it happened at LAN, it'd be a bigger black eye.
Yeah.
You should have saw the ALGS fucking broadcast. They were like, we're having some issues, and they don't know right now. They're talking about the game, wow, look at Hal destroy him. Hal had fucking aimbot during that entire sequence. So it's it's awkward looking.
Well, it's not even really a good look for Apex either, because they were deleting.
Deleting what?
And they were deleting. So I was in the thing, right when you brought it up, I'm like, wait, what? They just got hacked? I went directly into the comments of the live stream on YouTube. I said this. Remember, I told you that? I'm in the comment.
They were deleting.
They were deleting comments that were bringing up the hacks. This is not a good look. It is not a good look when you have to delete comments on the hack. When people were just saying, hey, were they just hacked? People were asking questions. then they got trolled to shit about it because they were deleting the comments. Like one guy, this is like one of the funniest comments that I saw in the chat. He's like, delete this if they were hacked, and they delete it right there and there. And I'm like, what the fuck? You're just proving that you're stupid, and you need to let people talk about this because like they're asking questions about the game. Like, is my shit safe? Am I going to be affected if I get into a game and let's say this guy joins? Am I safe? Like, you need to make sure, like, when you do this type of thing or this thing happens, you need to make sure your player base is informed by everything. Because if they're not, you're going to have a lot of questions, and you're going to have a lot of people say, "Hey, this isn't safe anymore. I'm out. I'm done. I'm not having my system compromised."
Telling you, this might play out like it's a holiday for people because it fucking takes them down a peg. People are already against the idea of power, of this idea of this powerful company like looming over their favorite game. So they're like, they already don't like these guys. So to watch them get taken down a peg by this anti-hero fucking Destroyer2009, it's gonna be like a holiday for a bit.
But it could go the opposite way too, yo, bro. They could be like, "I'm with Apex."
So if nothing changes, like Warzone was doing, like Warzone, nothing changed. That's why people are like, "Fuck this." You give us Ricochet, and there's still just hackers all over the place. So
well, and something else, like a similar situation happened, right? When they found out that a Valorant's anti-cheat was kernel, that it actually had some admin control, people were like saying, "Do not download this on your system. If it's anywhat compromised, people can gain control of your computer." It's a major factor. It could go either way, and I agree with you. Like, it could go where he's like the hero of the day, everything's going to be happy dory, this company just got shit on, or it could go the opposite way of like, oh shit, my systems might be compromised, I'm done with Apex. I no longer want to have it because I have a lot of shit that I have on my computer that's sacred to me. I'm not having my shit destroyed. Bye-bye. You know, it also depends on the person, right?
I'm just going from what it seems like the gamer attitudes have been towards these things, but we'll say if people leave en masse, it'll be more of a protest than it would be like they don't like the game anymore type of thing.
I agree, but and like I said, there could be like half the
your audio's cutting.
It could depend on half the player base, like going this way or this way. Or 20%, you know, it just depends.
Yeah, for sure. All right, here we go. This is a long video. Let's try to just fucking power through this shit.
Right now, it feels like, dude, every time anyone gets banned, it feels like a manual ban.
Most of the stuff anyway.
Like we have to win.
Yeah, if you want to call it there.
We'll call it there. Wait.
And the guy does bring up. I'll say this because the guy brought it up in the video that he doesn't trust kernel level. Kind of like games having an intrusion into your PC to where if something goes wrong, or even just having a company, some corporate giant company having access to your personal computers or any of your computers is kind of sketchy, especially someone who's worked in that field. I would assume they're already like, well, I know what people can do with other people's computers if they're in their computers, so I wouldn't want that at all. That makes sense.
He's not the only one that. One more point from me is like he's not the only. With the
say it again.
With the Valorant stuff, when they brought up the kernel stuff for Valorant, it was somebody gamer who brought that up. Another actually cyber guy who talks about like different malware and stuff like that. He said that's not safe. Don't have it on your system. Get rid of it. Get it off.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I trust the experts.
Fair enough. Yeah, I definitely keep my ears open when some of these tech guys are talking because I don't know as much about it. So if there's something that they would be worried about, like I give it a good listen and consider it very strongly. All right, that's our video. This is PirateSoftware. talking to TSM Mande on this whole Destroyer 2009 fucking thing, which is partially hilarious, partially infuriating, mostly towards the company, partially confusing, and I think that's just life in general. Thank you, Destroyer 2009, for putting life into perspective. With all that said, thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.